إذ تبرأ الذين اتبعوا من الذين اتبعوا ورأوا العذاب وتقطعت بهم الأسباب
অনুসৃতরা যখন অনুসরণকারীদের প্রতি অসন্তুষ্ট হয়ে যাবে এবং যখন আযাব প্রত্যক্ষ করবে আর বিচ্ছিন্ন হয়ে যাবে তাদের পারস্পরিক সমস্ত সম্পর্ক।
I wanted to cover a little bit more inshallah ta'ala and we'll conclude one more ayah. And this ayah will open up the subject of the next week's dars. It's really the next topic. And this next topic is so beautifully tied to what we just did. A person reaches the conclusion that this deen is the truth. That does not mean that their loved ones, their society, their neighbors, their wife, their husband, their children, their elders, doesn't mean that everybody else also came to that conclusion. They came to that conclusion. They developed a new love. But that does not mean that love is automatically transferred to everybody else in the household. Doesn't mean that. So you know what happens when someone turns towards the deen? They get a conflict inside the house. They get conflict inside the society. Because they're no longer going the way everybody else is going. And when they try to invite people to think, I thought about it and I've reached this conclusion. I'm not forcing it on you. I just want you to think. That's all I want you to do. You know what people usually do? I don't need to think. The way we've been doing things all these years, what are you saying it's wrong? You're saying our tradition, our culture, our society is wrong? Who are you to insult our elders like that? This is the way we do things. This is not just something the mushrikun used to say. You've heard that before, right? Mushrikun used to say, we will only follow what our forefathers followed. That's what they used to say. Today the Muslim is saying this. The Muslim is being called to Islam today by his own family member. The vast majority of the family is not on the deen. Somebody starts taking the deen seriously and he turns to his mother, his father, his cousin, his brother and he says, you just think about it. We have to worry about our akhirah. We shouldn't do the party like this. It's kind of haram. Actually, it's really haram. The Eid party that we're putting together. We shouldn't be selling liquor. We shouldn't be doing this. The family member gets disturbed. We should get out of this illegitimate financial transaction. We should get out of this stuff. It's not good for us. And the family will turn around and say, what? Your uncle did it. Is he going to hell? Your cousin did it. Oh, they're going to hell too. You're the only one going to Jannah. How? We're all going to hell. They'll start turning at you and just yelling and screaming. And now, so they say, well, they're doing it. We can do it too. Well, it's not like they're kafir. They did it. So we can do it too. So you justify your wrongdoing based on what somebody else is doing. You say, no, we should have a modest wedding ceremony. We shouldn't go overboard. We shouldn't bury ourselves in credit card debt to have this wedding party. We shouldn't put the newlywed husband and wife in financial troubles just because of one night of overly extravagant food, most of which is going to get thrown away anyway. We shouldn't do that. And they say, well, your cousin did it this way. What about them? They did it that way. How are we going to show our face in the community? We have to keep up. We have to keep up with, in English we say, keeping up with the Joneses. In Urdu it's like keeping up with the Chaudhrys, right? So with the Qureshi Sahibs, whatever, right? If there are any Chaudhrys in the audience, sorry. But that's what it becomes. Now those same people, in dunya, they used to justify their behavior saying, we got to keep up with society. Those same people are now, and they refuse to think for that reason, right? Now what happens to them on Judgment Day? إِذْ تَبَرَّأَ الَّذِينَ اتُّبِعُوا مِنَ الَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوا. What an amazing statement. When those who used to be followed, the trendsetters, those who used to be followed, will cut themselves off from the people who used to follow them. They say, well, you did that for me? I don't want nothing to do with you. Don't talk to me. I got nothing to do with you. On Judgment Day. You did everything for them. You made all of your decisions just to be like them. And on Judgment Day, they're cutting themselves off from you. The same thing happens with all these in society, trendsetters nowadays are musicians, actors, athletes, popular kids in school that other kids want to dress like and look like. These are all alladhina tubi'u, people that are followed, people that have a following, In your social circle, people that are wealthier and you want to be like them. People want to, kids that dress like the rapper and talk like him and act like him. Kids dress like the goth band and talk like them. These are all alladhina tubi'u. And they have millions of followers, don't they? Millions of followers. And those millions of fans, those Justin Bieber fans in dunya that are crying when they see him, they're also crying on Judgment Day, why did I follow you? you know. And then on that day, those who are followed say, we have nothing, I didn't force this on you. I got nothing to do with you. I don't want to deal with your problems. إِذْ تَبَرَّأَ الَّذِينَ تُبِعُوا مِنَ الَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوا وَرَأَوُا الْعَذَابَ. And both of those groups, everybody will be looking at the punishment. The followers and the followed, the leaders, everybody looking at the punishment. وَتَقَطَّعَتْ بِهِمُ الْأَسْبَابِ. And all of the relationships that used to exist, all of the means that used to exist before are all chopped away.